everyone, welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios. And I know it has been a minute since I've been here. I have just been busy and I've not done any creating. Well, I take that back. The first 2 weeks of this month, I was in Kansas at Big Momma's. You may know her from some of the groups around here as Big Momma or Sandy. And she hosted a gathering in her house in Independence for 11 days. And there were 15 of us that participated, coming and going. I was there for 4 days. Wished I could have stayed longer, but I also visited with some family. Had an online writers conference to attend. And then Bob and I have been doing stuff around here. So it's just been absolutely nuts. Let me try this light situation here. That helps a little bit, maybe. It's a little dark, but we'll see how it goes. But I've been busy trying to rearrange some things in the house, get some things set up. I still need to get my garden seeds started. I would like to have started them before I left for Kansas, but Bob has this thing about forgetting to water my plants. So I didn't want to trust the seedlings dying on me. Yeah, I'd like it better without the light. So I still have those to do, and I hope to work in the greenhouse this week, in time for rain. Yay! So, what I wanted to show you is, you see this piece of wallpaper? This is going to be the cover of a journal. Now, bear with me on the journal things, I know, but this is important. Because I have this journal almost completely done. I just need to put a cover on it and put the signatures actually stitched together in a cover. So I'm going to move this out of the way because it does not want to lay flat, and I'm going to talk about what I'm doing. At the retreat, I had no designs on working on anything at the retreat. Well, take that back. I was going to work on a couple of my starter projects at the retreat, and the problem with that was that after I got there, I thought, you know what? I would really like to make a journal that showcases everybody at the retreat, at the gathering. So that's what I did. I started a journal. And I have to be careful because I've got some addresses and stuff in here I can't show off. But there was a massive amount of stuff, and in a future video I will show what we had. But there was a station that had sewing patterns and postal stamps and all kinds of playing cards and greeting cards and index cards and a stack. Then there was another section, and then there was of stuff, and then there was a whole top of a buffet that was all books. And then there was a huge box of fabrics and trims, and there were prepackaged bags of ribbons. Oh man, scrapbooking papers and all kinds of miscellaneous papers. One lady had one of those humongous county ledger books that she brought, and I've got a piece of that in these here. We had a couple of challenges, and one of them that I didn't get to do because they did this one after I left was to do an index card with purple, lace, shell, and reptile. That might have been the one I did do. We'll see. No, this is the one I still have to do because I want to include it in the retreat journal. This trim came off of paper plates that we used. There was food galore. Everybody brought stuff to share. It was just a lot of fun. If you get a chance to go to a retreat, go, because it was so much fun. I would like to have stayed longer. I hope to go next year, and we'll be staying, and I think next year we're going to Indiana. Another gal has offered up the opportunity to do this. Now, one of the things I did was I had this, there was a scrapbook paper pad that had all these in them, and I took these and I turned them into tags. And I can't actually show you, I can show you the front of the tag but not the back. But here's one. I made 15 tags, and then on the back I had each person fill in their information with their mailing address, their email, that kind of stuff. So I always have contact with the women from the retreat. So I have those in here, and I've got 4 4 tags I don't have. They were ladies that came in after I left, but I have a friend, one of the gals at the retreats was going to get those taken care of for me, and I should have those in a couple of weeks. So, this was an example of some of the paper. It's a graph paper, but I've never seen graph paper this large. These are, I think these are 1-inch squares. Yeah, those are 1-inch squares of this. Now this was from a piece of scrapbook paper, and there's several things in here that come out from that, but I have kindness counts on the front of each one of the 3 signatures. And then there were these envelopes that I'm going to put large tags in. Trimmed them with the paper plate. Then there was a map in there, and I pulled out things that had to do with Kansas. So this one's in Wichita. And then this was made by one of the gals, and I put it as a corner. This was made by one of the other gals. And then I picked 3 playing cards, 6 playing cards, 3 red roses with music, and 3 roses that were yellow, and added them to a tuck spot here. And this is actually a double tuck spot. Then there was this scrapbook paper. There was this parchment. Then I had a piece of calendar. This was fabric that I took samples of, and I put a little bit of everything that I took in this book as well, because it was all part of the retreat. So this was fabric I shared with everybody. I made the pockets. These were some of the stamps that were in there. And I gave everybody, in the envelope that I took, there were these Easter egg color dyed tickets that I did. So I did that. This was from a big rosette that I took apart. This was another pocket somebody else made with no, I did this with a library card, and I made the matching tag to go in it with the trims that I had taken. Another one of those. This was grade school penmanship paper. This was one of the greeting cards that I added. Another one of the tags. And the fibers were all from one of the pre-packed fiber bags. Calendar. That she had a deck of playing cards from Reed Drummond's Mercantile. So I have that. This was stuff that I took. And they told me who this was from, and I do not remember. I'm going to have to check with Mimi and find out. This was one that somebody made, and I turned it into a flip. Another one of those tags. I need another ticket there. The coffee cup you'll see through here, those were also from that same piece of scrapbook paper that had the Kindness Matters on it. There were 3 colors of this notepad, and so I took one of each color and put in my book. I think it was purple, pink, and blue, and I think there might have been a yellow, but I don't remember for sure. This was a different type of that 1-inch grid paper. Some seersucker fabric that I contributed. The books, I took those out of that scrapbook paper, and this was a piece of eyelet lace that was there. And then I gave everybody a business envelope, and I turned it into, it's supposed to flip out, but apparently I messed that one up. So I'll have to play with that one. And another greeting card. And then this was the first challenge we did. We had to include an insect, numbers, dots, and black and white, I believe. And so I have this, and this was from one of the other gals, and I put it in here. But this was the one that I made. This is a rosette made by Big Mama, and I put a button in the center. Oh, we had to use an image, like a photo of somebody. And so this was cut from a pattern envelope. And then my numbers. And then I added another tag here on this one. So I have that. And then these others, I have Topeka. And I have the Kansas City area because we had a gal that came down from Kansas City. She picked up Dear Julie at the airport and brought her down with her, so that Dear Julie got to be there. So I have these 3 signatures, and I want to put this signature, put this in as a signature by itself. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine, I might combine this with this and turn that into the other one. And so I'll have 4 signatures in here. And that will be my journal. So I have that to put together. I still have stuff in here to work with. Big Mama made gluten-free wild blueberry muffins one morning, so I want to put this in the journal somewhere. This is a bag of all kinds of miscellaneous stuff to go in there. Somebody made these little notebooks. I think their intention was for them to be like an autograph book, but I think I'm going to put it in a pocket in the front of the journal. And then I also have my receipts from traveling that will go in here. And then I found this little clip with smiley faces, and I'm going to use it as a page holder in the journal. So I have lots here to play with yet. And I'm going to try and get that done, not this week, but next. But I wanted to let you know where we were at. And now as I go back and talk about the journals and the other stuff that I've been working on, I have not forgotten. When Bob left for Oklahoma, or for Texas in March, the middle of March, I quit doing everything creative and just worked on the house. Just worked on the house. And I made some really good progress. And I'm still working on it. But then he came home, and 3 days later I left for Kansas, and I've not had a chance to work on anything. I have taken some days away and worked on my book, so I'm still working on that. That's still in progress. So I'm working on it. I will be back, I hope next week, with some other stuff, getting back into working on other things. So bear with me. If not next week, it'll be the following week. But I wanted to give you an update of where I've been, what I've been doing, and why you've not seen any content on this channel. It's coming, I promise. Saturday there will be a video, and there may even be one Sunday. I have 2 packages down here from Spectrum Art Creations. As you know, I've had some problems with getting a package from the United States Postal Service, an order that I placed back in the end of February. Bernie mailed it out on March 3rd. It stopped somewhere between Kansas City and Springfield on March 7th. My post office has officially closed the search on it. They can't do anything with it. They've tried trying to get a hold of Kansas and Springfield, and nobody is working with them. And this is a problem that's happening at distribution centers all over the United States. Packages are backlogging. So I have one down here that came, and then I have another one I had Bernie ship UPS, so that I had a better guarantee of it getting here. So, and that brings me to one of the reasons why I've not opened up the Etsy store again. I have stuff to put in the Etsy store, but I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to word the shipping. But I'm leaning towards that all my orders will ship UPS unless you stipulate otherwise. And once they leave here, I'm not responsible for them. You'll have a tracking number. If you use if you use the post office, you'll have a tracking number, and if something happens to that package, it will be up to the customer to file the claim. I'm not going to deal with the Postal Service because I can't get anywhere with the Postal Service. So if I do open up the Etsy shop again, I will be shipping only via UPS, and I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. If something was offered only through UPS, somebody else had mentioned something else, pirate ship I think it was, so if you know anything about those, let me know. But I will not be using the Postal Service for packages. It's just not going to happen. So that's going to do it for me in the studio today. I will be back soon with actual content. In the meantime, please hang with me. Comment down below on your thoughts on shipping, and remember to like, to share, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Creative blessings.